everybody, thank you so much for joining me here on Misty Girl Crafts. My name is Ashley. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home. Today we have a good old-fashioned whip and chat, and I have so much to catch up with you on. Honestly, every time I go into a week, I'm like, am I gonna have anything to say? And then the week happens and I'm like, oh, I have so many things to say. Also, I am going to be spotlighting two small shops in this video with my putty and my pen. So let me actually, I need to get fresh glue dots from my single placer side, but let me actually start with the pen first. So both of these items, the pen and the putty, were gifted to me by a beautiful, wonderful subscriber that I've become friends with. She lives in Israel, and she had reached out to me on Instagram, and we've just been like DMing back and forth casually, just like saying hi, how you doing type of thing. And she was like, I really wanted to send you this putty from this Etsy shop that I'm obsessed with. The putty shop is called Thes Studios, Thes Studios. Looks like this cute little shop. Their putties are insane. I'm gonna show you all the putties that she sent me, but like, holy cow, they're so cute. I don't even want to ruin them, and they smell really good. And then she also sent me a little bundle order from Crafts with Crashley, whom I already am obsessed with. And she got me this really awesome Margaret Morales release that Crashley did. And this is Garden of May. This is not a diamond painting yet to my recollection. I don't have her in my stash, but this is gorgeous. And if I had the matching diamond painting to this like set, I would just fall over dead. So the Crashley bundle comes with this beautiful custom cup, which is like amazing, and a straw cleaner and a stainless steel straw. Love that. It also comes with a cover minder that matches. So you have this cute little matching cover minder here, and you get some cover paper. Of course, how could you not get cover paper when you're ordering from Crashley? But what's cool is the cover paper is in like various sizes, so like you can kind of test out what sizes you might want. And so it has the original artwork. Oop, I dropped it. Oop. It has the original artwork on there. So that's what the picture looks like. It's so pretty. Also, do you love my nails? I got my nails done for the wedding that I'm going to next week. It's kind of like a Halloween celestial vibe wedding, and I'm a bridesmaid and she has us wearing black. So we went on theme, people. But anyway, so the cover paper, super cute. And I love that they come in these nice little envelopes. And then we said the cover minder, the pen. Look at how cute this pen is. This is Garden of May, but this is the pen that comes with the Crashley set. And it's got a single placer already popped in. I put in my Diamond Art Club 8 placer, but then I said, wait. I don't want to do it off camera. I want to load it on camera because I have a new putty to try. So I have a Diamond Art Club 8 placer. Crashley gave me the single placer already, but this pen is amazing. And then I have the Thes Studios putty that we're going to try out today for the first time. And I'm going to try out this pen for the first time as well. Now, when I was chatting with Crashley, because this is what's ironic. This is what's kind of funny. So Crashley was asking her and I were chatting, and she was actually going to send me a pen to try because she wanted me to test out these clay pens. So she said that a lot of people, I think when they hear the word like clay pen, they think it's not going to be ergonomical, or it's not going to hold up. It's not going to stand up well over time because it's clay, and sometimes clay can be brittle or fall apart or crumbly, whatever. No, this pen is covered in resin. It's as hard as a rock, okay? The image on it is flawlessly applied. Look at that glittery deliciousness. Like, it is so beautiful. It looks so good. So essentially, she did show me the secret sauce video of how she makes these pens. I will not be sharing her process with you, but what I can tell you is there is a clay core to this pen, and every single one of these pens is handmade. These are not like done on a machine or whatever. Like, this is like somebody rolled this pen by hand, and it's amazing. I watched it happen and I was like, wow, I have so much respect for small shops and the fact that they do majority of the things that they're doing by hand. So there is a clay core in here, and then the image is applied on top of that clay piece once it's dried. But then there are many, many layers of resin, and that's what gives it that shiny look to it. That's why it's so shiny and hard. And also, like, again, it's very durable. Like it's not going to get messed up, you know, just by like wear and tear of typical diamond painting. And it fits so nice in my hand. I just really love it. It's basically the size of a normal pen. Like I'm trying to think. Here's a pen that I have from Peachy Keen. This one's a little bit more like fatter, but like the pen size is almost identical as far as like length. Maybe it's a little tiny bit smaller, but not by much. So it's a perfect hand size for me. I don't have very large or very small hands, so just like average hand size. And again, it already came with the single placer embedded in the pen, so you're not gonna have to like pull that out, pop it in, change it out. It's got the brass tip. And then I'm obsessed with the Diamond Art Club 8 placer. It's my favorite multi-placer of all time. I popped this in here without having to put like extra washi tape or glue dots to keep it snug in place. It actually fits this pen like it was made for it, which is really cool because this is my preferred multi-placer of choice, is the 8 placer. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend, first of all of Crashley's products. This is not the first time I've received products from Crashley or purchased Crashley products for myself. I have a ton of cover paper from her, but I've never gotten to hold one of her pens in my hand, and I've never gotten the mug or the stainless steel cup before. I've never gotten this before. So thank you so much to my subscriber friend in Israel for sending this over to me. I promise I'm going to use this all of the time. And then the only other cover minder that I have from Crashley is actually our mini DP Madness cover minder, which I have right here. So this was the cover minder that Crashley had sold during mini DP Madness for 2025, which was hosted by myself, Kara, Courtney, and Michaela. So this was my first time experiencing her cover minders, which I love. They're very thick and luxurious. So this is no different. And the fact that the picture is so clear on such a tiny surface, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to put my cover minder to the side just because I don't really need it for this particular painting, because with the Diamond Art Club paintings, the release paper, or sorry, the plastic cover sheet is perforated, and so when I open sections, it tends to lay really flat. So I typically don't need a cover minder for these. Usually if I have one, it's for pretty. It's not because I need it, but I have it here just in case. Okay, so to the putty. So again, I have to show you all of these putties from Thez Studios. I don't want to say this wrong, but this is the gift card. Oh my gosh, this is the business card for the company. So definitely check them out. They are on Etsy. I will have Crashley and Thez Studios linked in the description box below, so you can explore. Crashley has like a regular website. Thez Studios is an Etsy shop. This is the scent I'm going to be using today. It's called Cozy Autumn, and it has a little kitty bundled up in a blanket sipping cocoa. Hello? Like, of course I'm using this one today, but I'll show you this one last because that's the one I'm going to use. But I just wanted to show you some variations here. So the putty, there's like these putties in the regular packaging that are like flat, and then there are these putties that she has in the like containers, and they're like way fancier. So I want to show you both just as an example. You know what, here, I'll show you this one because it's already open. The smells I have is Cozy Autumn, which is the one we're going to use today. I have Apple Orchard, which looks like this, and it has this cute little bow in there. Isn't that so cute? I love that. It's so cute. The bow is not putty. The bow is like a little plastic doodad, so you're not going to be able to stab the bow, but that's okay. But it's really cute. So that's Apple Orchard. And then I also have Pumpkin Oat Bread, which is amazing. And I don't think I looked at the shape of this one yet. Let me try to pull it out and take a peek. It might be just like the other one where it's like a flat little square. Yeah, but it has another little bow in it. Oh, it smells so good. Pumpkin oat bread. I definitely smell the oat, and the pumpkin scent is not too intense. But don't forget, guys, if you're new to my channel, I have like a bad nose. I smashed my nose in the bottom of a pool when I was like 10 years old, and I didn't break my nose, but essentially the cartilage inside of my nose is like a car accident. So I have very poor sense of smell. So I prefer very intense smells. So if I'm telling you like, wow, this is the most vibrant smell ever, it might be a little intense for someone with a nose sensitivity, but I have like a really bad time smelling soft scents. So if I say I'm smelling it a lot, you're probably going to smell it even more than I do. Okay, so these ones are so freaking cute. So there's two different sizes. There's like this like smaller size and then these like hunky chunky sizes. You're gonna freak out. Okay, this one is called Sleeping Soundly and it has like a cute little deer on there. Okay, let's open it up and see. Has like a little piece of bubble paper to keep it in place and like a little paper on top to protect the image. Oh my gosh, look at that! Stop it right now! It's so, oh, sorry. Oh my god, I was like purposefully trying to not do that. Okay, well, it's a cute little deer. No damage was done to the deer, I promise. It might just have a little cat hair on it, but it's only for me anyway, so it's fine. Anyway, there's the little deer. And then I'm gonna put the little cover paper on top of it. I don't need this anymore. I think this little plastic bubble wrap is in there just for like travel purposes, but once it's in your house, I don't think you need it. This one is called Pumpkin Cat. Oh, and it says Drills and Chills on it. So this shop actually made stuff for Drills and Chills, which is awesome. I wonder if Katie and Lindsay already know about this shop. I've never heard of them before. This is my first time hearing about them. So I'm taking out the little bubble paper. Again, this is Pumpkin Cat. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put my fingernail on it so it doesn't fall out again. There you go. Look at Pumpkin Cat. That's so cute. Very soft pumpkin smell. If I really get my nose in there, I can smell it, but it's not a very overwhelming smell to me, but it's a good smell. That was that a big one or a small one? What did I... Oh yeah, the deer was a big one. That one was a small one. This is another small one. It's called Witch's Cauldron. And... Oh wait, here, let me show you the front. Witch's Cauldron. This is like a smaller container. Ooh! Ooh, that smells like a clean smell. Oh, that's nice. Look at how pretty. I'm gonna feel so bad like stabbing my pen into this. The little bat is plastic, but the putty is the bubbly part and the cauldron itself. But that is so cute. I see all the time on like Instagram and TikTok people ruining these like beautiful putties, and I'm like, oh. But now I have to be the one to do it because I have them too. I have the pretty putties. This is called a bat. And this one looks like, oh, a little pink bat. Look at that. That's so cute. Little pink batty. Oh, I keep shutting it without putting the thing inside. Okay, last one. This is Witch's Cauldron again, but this is a bigger Witch's Cauldron. Let's take a peek at this one. Ooh, I like how it's decorated different. Look. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I'm gonna have such a hard time ruining it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it today because my favorite, so I would say Witch's Cauldron is my second favorite smell, but my favorite smell that I smelled so far is Cozy Autumn. So let me just move all this, and again, this is Best Studios Scented Putty. So I'm gonna move all of the ones that I'm not gonna use off of my table just because my table is very crowded right now. So I have so many goodies to show you. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in my 8-placer, my Diamond Art Club 8-placer, and then I am gonna use a glue dot in my single placer because I'm a glue dot girly. I don't know what to tell you, so let me do that first just because it's easy. Let me know what you guys use. Like, are you wax people? Are you putty people? What do you prefer in your single and multi-placer? I have just become very accustomed to glue dots in my single placer and putty in my multi-placer, but I do have a couple small sample sizes of patty wax that I really want to try for my single placer because I feel like when I first got them, I did try it and I did like it, but then the glue dots were just so Hail Mary for me because I didn't have to change them out a lot. So I was like sold on it, but I do want to go back and play around with my waxes in my single placer just to see like how they perform in comparison to just my regular glue dots. Because sometimes like things will work better with special drills like ABs or fairy dust, or other special whatever, crystals, whatever. Sometimes things will work better with them than they do with glue dots versus waxes or putties or whatever. So I just put 2 glue dots in my single placer. And then I have the new putty. By the way, if you're seeing this, like, I don't know how to show you this. If you're seeing this tattoo on my arm, it's not real. I went to go spend my best friend's kids, the twins that I talk about sometimes, Ryan and Aiden. Their birthday is October 29th, but I will be out of town the following, actually I'll be out of town that day and the following day, so I won't get to see them on their actual birthday. So I celebrated with them this weekend, and Ryan, the little girl, was very excited about putting temporary tattoos on me and Eric and mommy and her. So we all had temporary tattoos on. Oh, like a warm hug. I love it. I am shoving my nose onto this putty, just FYI, but it's only for me, so I can do that. So I'm just going to take my multi-placer and I'm going to stab it right towards the top, get it all the way down there, give it a nice wiggle on all of the edges. I know some people have problems with the Diamond Art Club multi-placers bending. I haven't had that issue yet, but I know it exists. Okay, so I took a big chunk out of the top there. And see the cute little bow? Oh, it's so cute. And yeah, this is pretty much ready to go. I really didn't have to fuss with it at all. See? There you go. It is locked and loaded. I could probably pinch off some excess, but I'm just going to kind of roll with what I did and see if I need to adjust, because this is my first time using this putty and this pen. So I'm just ready for the experiment to begin. Okay, so I'm going to put this putty away. Shouldn't need to break it out again. It smells phenomenal, even though I do have a stuffy nose right now. I feel like I already had a stuffy nose 24/7, but then since becoming pregnant, I feel like I literally cannot breathe out of my nose at all, which for me isn't a huge adjustment because I can be like that on a normal day because of what I told you guys. But like when I'm filming these videos, sometimes I catch myself like, like I have to take a breath because like I'm not breathing in my nose. I also will be using my fabulous Drills and Chills Bijou Bliss tray that I'm obsessed with that glows in the dark. Even though Drills and Chills is over for me personally because I've already finished my canvas, I'm still using it because it's the right season and it's so freaking cute. So I am working on the Tea Party by Ivy Dolamore from Diamond Art Club. I have my drills. Here, let me pull this back a little bit so you can see better. I have my drills in my bottle case storage. So everything on here has a number on it. It's just a serial number. And then the sticker sheet is right here. And inside of the sticker sheet, all the stickers are still here. So what I do is I basically find the symbol that I want to work on, find the symbol on the sticker sheet. So for example, like if the symbol I wanted was the capital N, I would just say, okay, capital N is number 12. I would pull bottle 12 and get going. So right now, I think I have in my tray number 45, which is capital K. So we're going to work on that while I still have it in my tray. And then as we go throughout the whip and chat, I will commentate on how I'm feeling about the putty and the pen and such. But so far, so good. It came off really clean when I just stabbed it once and it came off really, really nice. So let me get you guys as good as you can be. I know I felt bad. I was like, I'm about to fill this whip and chat and I'm all the way over here. So you guys really can't see what I'm working on too closely, but maybe at the end of the video, I'll do a little pan over for you guys so you guys can see this section having been worked on. So really it's actually 4. So it's 4 Diamond Art Club sections. This is 2 and then this is 2. So I'm working on a big 4 square here. And I'm planning to work on this 4 square all the way down to that side of the painting. And then I will only have 1 strip left on the top to finish. I had gotten this canvas halfway done when I was working on it. And then I just had to stop because so many other things got in the way. I said I was working on the letter K. Okay. So yeah, it's been busy this year so far for many, many reasons, but I'm really excited to work on this one. I'm not gonna lie, I very much missed Diamond Art Club quality like drills because I've been working on a couple small shop projects and they're not bad. It's just a little different. It was something to get used to, and now that I'm working with like a Diamond Art Club canvas again, I'm like, ooh, I missed this. Okay, so let's see Let me use this single placer a little bit to get, there's some confetti in these wings on this fairy, so I'm just trying to like poke around and get the single placer working too. I didn't dirty this glue dot. I probably should. I just dot it all over my t-shirt to get some of the shirt fibers on it, and that helps dull the stickiness of the glue dots that are in there. The putty though shouldn't have any issues, but we'll see how that goes. So how are you guys doing? How has your week been? Let me know what you're working on while we're chatting today. I'd love to hear about whatever projects you've got. Did you participate in Drills and Chills? Did you finish your canvas already, or are you still working on it to the bloody last second? Either way, I support you. Either way. I think the last time that we were together last week, I was telling you guys about all of the craziness of like the doctor's appointments and stuff that I was dealing with like how I went to the doctor. I felt Eli move for the first time, which I talked about in my last Whip and Chat. And then the very next day I had a doctor's appointment, and the first appointment went really, really well. My OB was telling me like, you're doing a great job. Like, you're measuring good. Your weight looks good. His heart rate, everything looks good. And then directly after that appointment on the same day, I had like a pre-anesthesia birth consult with the anesthesiologist at the hospital that I was planning to give birth at. Subtle hint. And so I was at that appointment with the anesthesiologist, and the anesthesiologist was basically like, well, do you have a backup plan? And I was like, what do you mean, do I have a backup plan? Like, I'm giving birth here. Why would I need a backup plan? And that's when she proceeded to talk about the fact that the hospital I was planning to give birth at, where my OB was, like, in the team that I had been working with for 25 weeks at this point, well, I guess 24 weeks at that point, but still, there's no NICU in that hospital, and they're not really equipped to handle high-risk pregnancies that go wrong. Like, basically, when I first found out I was pregnant, I talked to my doctor, and they were like, high-risk pregnancies are basically a scale of risk, and you are very, very low on the scale. Like, technically, I'm considered high risk because of my weight, but my doctor said to me many times that, like, you're nowhere near the scary limit that we worry about with people. Like, as long as you just take care of your body and you just don't overdo it, you should be just fine. And that's what I've been doing. I definitely don't feel like I've been restricting myself, but I also have been diligent about what I'm putting in my body, and it's shown. Like, I've done very well. And so when I was talking to this anesthesiologist, like, I was like, why are you telling me to go somewhere else to have my baby? And again, she didn't directly say that, but that was the vibe that Eric and I were getting from her, is like, don't come here. And I was like, this is so bizarre. And so that night, like Friday night, not even Friday night, literally Friday after we left that appointment, I was fine. And then I started thinking about it more, and I was basically like, oh my gosh, it's my fault that I can't give birth to my baby at this hospital. I fully exploded in like a full pregnancy tears meltdown. And Eric had to like talk me off the ledge and be like, Ashley, like, it's not about you. This is not your fault. Like, it's just this, that, and the other. And I was just very emotional. And then I kind of, after like sleeping on it and thinking about it some more, I was like, well, like, do I even want to give birth in a hospital that can't accommodate if anything goes wrong? Like, that just sounds scary in general. So then we talked last Sunday, I think it was, or maybe it was Saturday. I can't remember what day, but we talked last week about this whole situation and leading up to this point in the story. Well. I had this week was crazy, by the way. Like, and let me just confirm. Hold on. It's been so crazy. I just want to make sure that I am talking about the correct week in my life, because it's currently Sunday, October 26th. But let me pull up my work calendar, because I just want to make sure that I'm remembering. This week, I think, if I'm thinking correctly, this week was so crazy that I'm pretty sure I blacked out. And I am actually forgetting everything I did. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay, so we didn't talk about this week yet. I think what happened is I told you what was coming up this week, and that's why I felt like I had already talked about it, but I had not fully disclosed. So essentially, I'm just gonna move my mouse over here so it's closer, so I can toggle between my notes and my calendar so I can remember what's going on. So, Monday, the 20th, I go all the way to Sarasota for a recruitment event at a hospital, okay? I had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drive all the way down there to have my recruitment table and everything set up by like 6:30. Yeah, because the event was from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then because we were trying to catch shift change, so then we took a break from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I did not leave the hospital. I stayed there the whole time. I got work done. It was actually very productive, but there's a funny story about that I'll tell you about in a minute. Stayed for all of that. And then 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock was the second time where we had to be like at our tables and ready to receive people. And then we left at 4, like we were ready to go home by 4 o'clock. So I'll tell you the story that's relevant to what I was just talking about, and then I'll tell you the funny story that happened in between the two sessions. So essentially, I get there, I'm exhausted. I decide that I'm not going to have my caffeine fix for the day, even though I'm dragging because I'm so tired, because it's like I left my house I woke up at like I think 4 something. Anyway, it was like a very long day. So already, and I had just gotten there. So I'm tabling, and I'm there to recruit nurses who want to go back to get like graduate nursing degrees and stuff. So I'm just there chatting with a couple people, having some casual conversations, whatever. And then this one girl comes up to me, and her and I, like, we just hit it off right away. I don't have a very like aggressive recruitment style, to be honest. Like, I'm very like conversational, and I can tell when someone wants to talk to me and when people don't. Like, I'm not there to scare you into going to college. Like, that sounds awful. I wouldn't want that if I was talking to somebody about what my options were. So really, like, I gauge my enthusiasm about the conversation based on like somebody else's approach. Like, if someone's coming at me with like a bunch of questions and they're like, I'm really excited and I want to know, and I'm like, okay, yeah. But like, if somebody's like grabbing a flyer and looking kind of nervous, I'm very like, just let me know if you have any questions. Like, I'm happy to answer them for you. Like, again, I'm not going to jump down your throat. That's just my philosophy on recruitment as a whole. I understand that some places have to be more aggressive because that's just their style, but that is not my personal style. So this girl comes up to my table, and like, we were vibing. Like, we were having a good back and forth conversation. I was like, what do you do for the hospital? She was like, I'm an RN. And she was telling me all these things, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So we're talking about the programs at first. And then, I don't remember how we got on to the topic of like pregnancy and maternity stuff, whatever. But we hopped into the subject. And I was like, oh, I think she was talking about her son or something, or her, cause she has 2 kids, and she was telling me about like, I think her second kid or something. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I've got to be real with you. Like, again, this is like, the doctor's appointment was Friday. This is the following Monday. I was like, this is just me talking about my real life right now. I'm not wearing my recruitment hat right now. This is what I'm dealing with right now, and it sucks. And I told her about like the appointment and how the original hospital I wanted to give birth at, like, I thought was great, but then they told me they had no NICU and the whole thing. And then there's another hospital within the same organization that's a little bit further down the road, but I've never been there before, and they do have all the services I might need, And I'm explaining to her the situation. And again, in my heart, I've already mostly convinced myself that I'm going to go to the other hospital because it's just the better choice for Eli. But man, did this girl convince me that I was correct, that was the better choice. So she tells me, okay, she says, and this is like a little cute petite girl, whatever. She's like probably 5 years older than I am, maybe 6 years older than I am. She's there and she's like, oh, you want to pick the hospital with the NICU. And I'm like, yeah, like totally. Like, I'm like agreeing with her. I was like, yeah, no, I think that's what I'm going to do. She's like, yeah, well, I gave birth at a hospital down here in Sarasota. Again, there are multiple locations of this hospital, but the one I picked it because it was more convenient. It was closer to my house, and the other one was like an hour away. And so I was not high risk at all. This is me talking as her. She's like, I was not high risk. I went full term. So she went 40 weeks. Her baby was born on the due date. And this was her second baby that she had given birth to at this hospital. And she's like, literally, I have never experienced any issues ever at all. I guess when she was delivering her baby, she must have like pushed too hard or something. And I think the lungs like popped or they collapsed. I can't remember exactly how she explained it. She used a very medical term because she was a nurse. So she used this term, and I just like stared at her, and she was like, his lungs popped basically. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so literally, she gives birth, no skin to skin. They take the baby, they like clean him up, they get him ready, and immediately they're like, all right, we're going to transport him to the NICU an hour away at this other hospital, And like, they did it. her husband, the exact, like, it was like God's timing is insane. The exact story that I told you guys I was like horrified of happening to me if I were to choose the first hospital is almost identical to what she went through. She did everything right. She wasn't high risk. She gave birth on her dang due date. Who does that, right? Everything went perfect. She's had another kid at this hospital successfully, and her body was like doing everything it was supposed to. A freak accident happened, and her baby had to get transported in an ambulance to an hour away. Again, my two hospitals are not that far apart, but still, just even if it was next door, I think I might freak out. So like, she's telling me the story, and she was like, I was like in full blown tears. I was obviously, she's like, I had just given birth. My hormones were a wreck. My husband had to leave me, and my baby left me. I was alone in the hospital. They couldn't discharge me right away because like they had to like help me get better, like fix me. And they literally drove an hour away, and my husband was at the other hospital with our baby in the NICU. And she was like, he's okay now. Like he was only in there for like a week or whatever. But like, I never got that like first week with my baby, like right there, like whatever in the hospital and whatever, because he was in the NICU. I was like, well, you've convinced me. I was like, not that I needed much convincing at all. Like after I kind of talked it out with you guys in my last Whip and Chat, I really did feel like I was at peace with the decision that I had made, like in my heart, about going to the other hospital no matter what. Because the last time that we had talked about it, we had talked about the fact that I was going to message my doctor and see if any of them deliver at my hospital or what the deal was with that. Turns out none of them do. They're all loyal to the hospital that I'm currently seeing them at. But I did get some silver lining positive news, and they basically said to me, they were like, yeah, you don't have to leave our practice to give birth at that other location. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we can continue to take care of all of your prenatal care and all of your postpartum care and your first baby visits. You just have to go there to give birth. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, okay. Still not ideal, but better than having to find a brand new set of doctors at 25 weeks pregnant. Like, I was so distraught about that part of it. And that's what I felt like I was struggling with the most, is I felt guilty that I was even considering what my needs were in a scenario where my son's life could be like in the balance, not to be dramatic, but I was like, if he needs NICU services, if he doesn't get the care he needs fast enough, like bad things could happen. You know what I mean? Like that other lady's poor baby had to be in the ambulance for an hour going to a different hospital. And I don't know if it was an hour away because it was like actually an hour away, or if it was just traffic. Because if you're in the Florida area, you know traffic here is rough. So I don't know which it was, but yeah, no, her story fully convinced me that I wanted nothing to do with giving birth at the hospital that did not have the services that would be appropriate should an emergency happen. And to be honest, I actually felt like really at peace, because I was like, you know what that girl essentially taught me was that it doesn't matter how well prepared you are. Bad things happen all the time, and sometimes you just can't control that. But what you can do is you can control the choices you make leading up to a situation to mitigate as much of the risk as possible. Because on the Friday when I heard that from the CRNA that was telling me like you should look at your options, I was putting all that blame on myself, and I was like, oh, she thinks that I'm not going to be in a good space to give birth to my baby at this hospital. Like, I'm not good enough to give birth at this hospital because I'm too fat, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, or like, I was blaming me. I was totally blaming me, which is unfortunately what I default to a lot of times. It's like only child problems or eldest child problems. But then I thought about it, and that girl's story really showed me, I was like, it doesn't matter if I do everything perfect. He could still need those services, and I wouldn't have them readily available if I picked this hospital. Like, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not a mom yet. Like, I think I'm almost a mom. I am a mom. I know everyone has different philosophies on that. As a mom, I don't plan to be the type of person who crosses her fingers and just hopes it works out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have information ahead of time that will prepare me to make a better decision for my family, I'm gonna do it. Obviously. Of course. Like, it's an obvious decision to go with the other hospital, knowing that even if everything goes perfect and I don't need those services, and I am not the problem, and no one's the problem, everything goes perfect, which is what we're still hoping for, crossing our fingers. I hope that happens, and that is the experience I'm intending to have. But even if that happened, I would still want to give birth at that hospital because of the what if, right? Like the what if something happens, what if whatever. Again, you're not like doomsday prepping. You're just saying like, I want to be in the best place possible to provide me the best care possible should anything arise. Big, small, and everything in between. And so now that I also know that I can still go to my doctors at the other hospital for the prenatal care, I'm fully at peace with it. Because I'm like, I don't have to find a new doctor. Once we had that appointment with the anesthesiologist on the Friday, I immediately went home and I booked a tour of the other hospital. They're owned by the same organization, so I imagine their birthing suites look almost identical. Unfortunately, the tour is virtual, which is kind of weird. The tour isn't in person, but I'll report back. That's November, I think it's November 8th. Let me look at the Saturday. Yes, November 8th around like 12 o'clock. That is my tour time for the new hospital that I'll be giving birth at, hopefully. So I'll let you guys know. I'll report back on how that goes or whatever, but yeah, I feel super at peace with my decision. And I'm happy that I don't have to change OBs to do it. The only downside really is that I'm going to give birth with like a stranger delivering my baby. But in reality, like that happens to a lot of women. Like a lot of women they go into spontaneous labor and then they just have to get whoever's on call to come deliver their baby and they don't even know who they are, which, happens a lot. So I'm genuinely at peace with the situation, but it took me a little bit to get here, but I'm there now. I'm happy, and I think it's going to be the best decision for Eli, which is the only decision that matters. If it's what's best for Eli, it's best for me. That's my new motto in life. Like, if it's best for him, it's best for me too, because if anything were to happen to him, that would not be what's best for me, and him getting ripped out of my arms in a hospital to be driven down a highway to a different hospital, that's not best for either of us. Like, that's also not best for the hospital team, because then they have to deal with me being like a complete psychopath while my son is being like carted away somewhere else. So with all of that being said, I'm giving birth at the other hospital as of today. Like, that is what I believe to be happening. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. I'm just thinking it through. Like, yeah, I mean, if a pregnant woman like goes into the emergency room like in labor, like they take them. But I'm gonna try to like communicate with somebody over there, or I'm gonna try to figure it out to where maybe I can like maybe try to chat with somebody over there that's part of their OB team and like be like, this is what my preferences are. And like, so they have this thing called a birth designer at my hospital. I just think the name is funny. And so it's like a thing that's common with this organizations, like hospitals, they have birth designers. So I'm thinking about seeing if I can connect with the birth designer of the other location, and then I can have a conversation with them. So that way, at least before I get there, they know like what my preferences are and what, whatever. The only big thing is like, ideally, in an ideal situation, I would prefer a female doctor. So if I don't get one, it's not like I'm going to like roll off the table and die. It's fine. Like, doctors, they're supposed to be professional. It should be okay. But I have a preference for a female doctor dealing with female related things because they've been there and they know what it's like, and they have like, it's like a thing with me. I'm just like, I just would feel more comfortable with a female doctor delivering my baby. But if that doesn't happen, I'm fine with whoever it is. But I would like them to know that ahead of time, and I need to figure out how I tell them that. So that's part of it. And I mean, if it's even possible to meet some of the doctors they have on rotation, that would be cool. But I'm not going to push it because I already have a ton of doctor's appointments lined up. And I actually, starting in November, I will start to go to the doctor 2 times a month, which is more than now. So it feels like I'm going to the doctor more than twice a month now, only because I've had like sonogram appointments that are separate from my OB prenatal appointments. But like, I will have my sonogram appointments now on top of my prenatal appointment. Like, it's like 2 prenatal appointments and sonogram appointments. So it's like maybe 3 appointments a month in some cases. But literally, once November starts, I'm 3 months away from my due date. Like, it's crazy. I will be starting my 3rd trimester on Veterans Day. So you guys are going to see this video on, I think, October 29th. So like 2 weeks later, I will be in my 3rd trimester, which is insane. I'm excited about it though. I've been feeling really good. I definitely feel him moving all the time now. He is definitely an active little stinker, but in a good way. Like, it's not like it hurts or anything. Like, I'm not in pain, but like I can tell when he's moving around and when he's awake and when he's not. He's actually pretty calm right now. I'm trying to see if I can tell where he is. He likes he's definitely lower in my belly. He hangs out kind of low, and I'm obviously still like in my 25th week, so he's not super high yet. But yeah, he's chilling right now. He's not really kicking me at all, but I'll let you know if he does. Speaking of him, so again, Monday, I had that huge work event. Talked to the girl, felt really good about my decision to give birth at the other hospital. So that's pretty much settled. I called Eric on the way home from that hospital. I was like, babe, we're doing it. And he's like, what happened? Like, he was like, I thought you were wanting to talk to the doctor when we met with her on the 12th or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I still want to talk to her, but like, I've decided, like, this is what this is. And I explained to him the story and why. And he's like, oh no, yeah. He's like, I fully support that. Like, whatever you want. I just want you to feel comfortable with your decision. And I was like, yeah, as long as like, you know, they will let me do that, I don't see why we shouldn't do that. And so that's that. But the funny story I was going to tell you guys. Okay. Wake up at 4 a.m., have to do this event, drive all the way down. It's like an hour and a half away from my house to get to this hospital. I'm at the hospital. I do the first 2 hours. Other than that one very productive conversation that had nothing to do with work with that girl, there was like the first 2 hours was completely dead of the event. The event was so dead. Everybody was complaining about it, but whatever. I'm like, this is par for the course, truly, because these nurses are dead tired from working all day. The last thing they want to do is come down into a room with a billion like people staring at them like they're in a fishbowl, pushing things at them. Like, do this, you want to do this, here, go back to school, here, go do this. Like, they just got off shift and they're exhausted. Or they're going into shift and they like need to get into the headspace of going to work. It's just like not, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so the first 2 hours were pretty dead. But then I have a break from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the event is not happening during that time. So I brought my work laptop with me and I was like, oh, no worries. Like, I'll just work while I'm waiting for it to be 2 o'clock. I'll go grab some lunch. Well, I'll grab some breakfast and some lunch at some point. So this particular hospital that I was at has like 3 or 4 different cafeterias. It was crazy, okay? There was like a lot of really good spots to just kind of like post up and tuck yourself away and just do your own thing. So I was hunting for the perfect like little nook spot that I could just be for like 5 hours or whatever, just to like hang out until it was time for me to go back to my table. And so I go into one of the cafeterias and I wasn't like super hungry, but I definitely wanted somewhere where I could get like refills on my drink without having to like buy more stuff every single time. So I found this cafeteria. They had like a fountain machine out, and I was just like, I don't want to have caffeine, but I want something that'll just like give me a little pick me up. So I got a Sierra Mist and a muffin, like a breakfast muffin. And I found this corner table. It only sat 2 people. It was like a booth on one side and a chair on the other side. And then there was an outlet. There was like a 2-prong outlet right next to like the table. I was like, this is perfect. I'll plug in here. I'll work on my laptop. I'll be doing a bunch of projects that I need to get done for work because I have all this time like completely undistracted just in the corner of this cafeteria. All the other people in the cafeteria are like workers. So they're just like quietly eating their food and like not being obnoxious. Oh, so I'm there for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm sitting there alone, having the time of my life, clicking away on my laptop, getting work done. And then this woman walks up to my table and she's got this like cute Southern accent. She's like, do you mind if I sit with you? I would love to use that outlet. And I was like, look, this is a hospital, and this hospital has so many cafeterias and like open spaces to like be and sit and work on a laptop. Like, I just happened to find this one, but like there are many. And this woman asks to share a table with me at 9-10 in the morning. And I'm like, Ashley, be a good person. So I was like, sure. So she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. So she sits down across from me at this table. It's like a square table. She sits down across from me, and I plug in her laptop for her. I had my phone plugged in, but I took that out of the wall and I plugged it into my computer. And again, she's just being super sweet, very Southern, like, oh, thank you, bless your heart, whatever. She's doing that whole thing, and I'm like, literally, one of my eyeballs is like rolling into the back of my head. I'm like, it's fine, you're welcome, it's fine. So she and I sit there. She immediately has to hop on the phone for a phone call. She's not like a nurse. She like does something for a company that works with the hospital. Like, I don't know if she does like some sort of like elderly care services or transport service. She does something that's like in connection with the hospital, but like she does not work for the hospital. She had like a name tag on. Like, she was clearly there on business with the hospital for her own whatever company she works for. But I wasn't paying attention to her. Like, I was like, whatever. She was on the phone, and that wasn't even bothering me. Like, her being on the phone was like background noise, and I was just like clacking away. I forgot my headphones, which was so tragic because I was like, if I could just plug my headphones in, none of this would have mattered. But I was dumb and I forgot my headphones, so I was just listening to all of the noises of the room, which was fine until she proceeds to get herself some food, which was fine. I have horrific misophonia, which is like where when you hear people chewing with their mouth open, you want to like choke them. Yeah, I have that. She did not do that, which I was incredibly thankful for, but she ate her little breakfast sandwich or whatever she was having, which I was kind of nervous about because I was like, I hope the smell of whatever she's about to eat does not set me off because of like my pregnancy stuff. Like, I can be sensitive to smells, but we were doing fine. I was on my computer. She was eating her little food. So she finishes her food. She throws it away. She comes back to the table. I'm like, okay, all right, here we go. She proceeds to pull out of her pocketbook I don't know if it was a mint or a throat lozenge or what. I have no idea what it was. But it was the color orange and semi-transparent. So that's why I'm like, it might have been a throat lozenge, but I'm not 100% sure. She proceeds to unwrap said throat lozenge and or mint, pop it into her mouth, and she was rolling it around in her mouth. And the sounds that she was making, I went into a full-blown blood rage in my soul. I was staring at her so intensely, and I was like, Ashley, relax. Like, it's one lozenge. It's one little thing. She's going to finish it. She started to chew it, which I could hear in surround sound, and I was like crying. I was like, why did I not bring my headphones? This is the worst ever. I was like, Ashley, you're an adult, okay? You can get over it. Like, get over it. She's going to finish the little lozenge or the mint, and then it's over. She proceeds to pull a second one out of her bag, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm just like, ah! Just like internally screaming. So I'm like, it's okay. Like, you know, whatever. Sometimes people need to. It's fine. Whatever. And then, by the way, the whole time that like this is happening to me, I'm texting my friend Sam, and I'm like, I literally am about to lunge across the table at this girl. Like, please send the police for me because I need to go to jail because I'm about to lunge on this lady. And again, sweetest little Southern lady, just doing her. She's just on like tapping on her computer and like rolling this mint in her mouth. Like, I'm like, it was like an opera house in there. I could hear every single thing she did to that mint, and I was fully traumatized after mint number 2. There was a mint number 3 that happened, and at that point, my friend Cynthia, my best friend Cynthia, she is the only person that has ever described it in a way that I feel like makes sense. My friend Cynthia has like anxiety, and she has like some like bouts of depression too, and sometimes she calls it, she says she feels itchy. Like, that's like how she tells her kids when she's like having a moment of like, I'm overstimulated, like everyone needs to leave me alone. She says like, mommy's feeling itchy right now, so she just needs like everybody to like not crawl on her and touch her and leave her alone and not talk to her. Mommy's feeling itchy, like leave me alone for a little bit and I'll come back when I'm feeling better. That's her like way of expressing that. That is the only way I can express to you how I was feeling itchy. Like, as she was rolling the third lozenge in her mouth, I felt like I wanted to peel my skin with a potato peeler. Like, genuinely, I was like, this, like, like, this must be what hell feels like. Like, I was like, I woke up at 4 a.m. I have not had a lick of caffeine. My brain was like, go for the kill. And I was like, Ashley, stop. Stop. I was like, she's like, and again, while I'm having all of these thoughts, I'm like truly staring at her at this point. Like, there is no like awkward little glances where like her and I catch each other's eye and then I look away. No, I'm full blown staring at this woman above my little laptop, just like daring her to look at me. So she realizes that she's like making my world turn upside down. She does not look at me. She continues to type away at her computer and roll this lozenge into outer space in her mouth. And I'm like, ah. So I'm texting my friend still. And I'm like, if she grabs one more lozenge out of this pocketbook, I am out of here. I kid you not. She finishes the third one and there's like a pause. And I'm like, okay. I think we got through it. I think it's over. I'm like, I think it's over. I think she's done. I'm like typing a little bit on my computer. She's kind of like typing a little bit on her computer. She reaches in her bag and grabs a fourth one. I slam my laptop shut. And the moment I literally slam my laptop shut, and she just immediately is like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing your table with me, darling. You're so sweet. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, yep, thank you so much. Oh, yep. And she was like, oh, and what do you do? And then that's when she starts to try to play the get to know me game, is as I'm packing up all of my stuff as fast as I can, because I am at the point where I am going to shoot like a rocket through the roof of this hospital. And I'm like having like what, I don't know what it was, but I was having a fit. And I was like, yep, this is what I do. This is where I work. Do you want my home address, my cell phone number? I don't care. I have to go. I gotta go. So then I pack up all my stuff. I unplug all I like rip my stuff out of the wall. And then I like throw it all haphazardly in my bag and I like take off. And I'm like, I just remember standing at the elevator bay to go back down to the floor where my event was. And I was just like I was like releasing the demons a little bit. I was like, it's okay. It's over. But I was so sad because I had like 2 more hours. Like that happened before. It was like noon when that happened. And I was frustrated because I had gotten breakfast at that spot and my plan was to get lunch there too. Well, now I've left the spot and I acted like I was in a big hurry to go somewhere. So I couldn't just like go back there to get food. And she'd be like, oh, hi again. Like, no, I was like, I'm never going back to the cafeteria ever again in my whole life. Ever. So I'm like, I'm going to go back to the room where we like set up our tables because they basically shut the room while we weren't in there, but they didn't lock it. So I went back to that room. There was nobody in this room. Like there were a ton of tables where we all were for the job or for the career fair or whatever, the education fair. We were all there, but then everybody left to go do whatever they were doing. Like for the couple hours we had as a break, most of them went home or to their hotels if they had one. But because I drove, I just stayed. So I went back into the room. I sat at my table with all my recruitment stuff. And there wasn't an outlet for my laptop, but because I had my laptop plugged in that whole time, my laptop was at like 100%. So I just started working on my laptop. And those 2 hours, I did not eat lunch because I skipped lunch because I was like scared to go back to the cafeteria because I know there were other ones, but it would have taken so long to go up and down and over. Like this was a huge hospital. So it's like, they're not very close together. They're meant to service different parts of the hospital so that you don't have to go like very far to get to where you need to go. And my bag was heavy and I was tired and I had work. I was like in the middle of like actually getting like some really good stuff accomplished. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to the table. And that's what I did. So I sat at the table and I just like was sad because I didn't have my free refill anymore on my drink. And I typed away and then the event started back up at 2:00. It ended at 4 and I left. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I'm tired of just remembering that story. Wow. That was that was one day. So then that was crazy. So again, the good side of it was I got to talk to that girl who had that life experience and like shared her story with me and made me feel super, super good and confident about the decision I had already really made to give birth at the other hospital location from my original one. So that was good. But then I had the whole episode with like the lozenge lady, and that sent me into outer space. So it was a long Monday. But then on Tuesday, I had to go to another recruitment event that was an hour in the opposite direction from my house. And that one was not as like cringy. It was like just like a normal, it was like 3 hours. I'm looking at my calendar. Yeah, it was like a 3-hour event. That one went really well. Although the only downside to that event was that I went to a community college for this event. And I know this, but I guess I just haven't been out in a while, because the reason I'm even going out at all is because I'm covering for the girl that went on maternity leave in September. And so I'm going out on these events to help her partner, because right now we only have like one recruiter for our college, and she has to do like on-campus stuff for our students that are on campus, and she has to go out and recruit. So I'm trying to be helpful before I get so uncomfortable that I can't go out and do stuff. So that's why I had so many like back-to-back events this week. Like normally it would just be all the two of the girls, but since one of the girls is gone, I've been trying to be helpful. And so I'm at this college fair at a community college, and they're all in high school. Like all of the students were like in collegiate programs in high school getting their AA degrees. And I'm like, you all are like children. Like these are like 13, 14, 18, 16-year-olds. Like they're all like little babies, and they're just like talking to me about like becoming like doctors and stuff. And I'm like, did you even enjoy high school? Like I thought high school was fun. Like did you even step foot on your high school campus, or were you in college the whole time? Like how did you do high school and college? Like we'll find out when Eli pops out. I'm sure I'll get to that stage eventually, but school is so different from when I went. Even when, because like I didn't go to a public school, Eric did, so a little bit of it was like, for me, I was like, maybe it's just because like I didn't have that public school experience, and maybe that's normal. Eric was like, no, like we had some kids that were super gifted and like they would do college and stuff, but like the majority of us were just like vibing in high school and maybe got like a couple AP classes under our belt, but we were not getting AA degrees when we were graduating high school. Like I was like, this is insane. So talking to a bunch of kids about school, nursing school and stuff, but the unfortunate part was that I had to share my table with another person from my institution, but that person was like, so I represent nursing, but this person works for the Office of Admissions, so they are like there to talk about like all of the majors, and like they really understood better like the application process to the university. So at first I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. Like we can partner together and we can like ping pong off of each other for different things, whatever. So I was thinking like this was going to be a big win. Well, my first impression of this woman was I had gone to the bathroom and to go get a snack. They had like a little room that was like dedicated to like the employers and the schools reps to go like grab like a muffin and a drink, a water or whatever. So before the fair started, I walked over there to go get like a snack and a water to bring back to the table. And when I came back to the table, I had already set up my table before I left, and I knew I was sharing with somebody, so I had set up all my stuff on just half of the table so they could have the other half when they got there, because I beat them there. When I came back, she had ripped off my tablecloth and rearranged the entire table to how she saw fit and moved all of my stuff and touched all of my stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's how it's going to be. So I'm like, and again, we're on the same team. Like, we're literally representing the same school. Like, what? Like, whatever. And then sorry, I'm just hunting. Oh, I was like, I don't see any more of these Ks, but I feel like I'm missing some because I'm talking. Let me just make sure I don't have another big patch that I'm not seeing. I think I finished the Ks. Yes. Okay, I'm going to switch colors. By the way, so far, putty is great, and the pen is really, I'm not feeling crampy in my hand or anything. Like, it fits like a writing pen. Like, it's very nice. It's thin, but it's not too thin. I really like it. And I don't think the fact that it has a clay center makes a difference whatsoever in its performance. The resin outside makes it feel like every other resin pen that I have that's like a custom pen. But anywho. So far we're doing great on the new putty and the new pen situation. So anyway, this girl that's with me at the table, the region that she covers is like I guess like Southeast or whatever. So she speaks Spanish. She's like talking, and which is great. Again, she's like talking to the students. She can speak in whatever language they need her to, whether they're like Spanish or English, whatever. And like, but she's being more, again, I told you guys in the beginning of this video, like my recruitment style is much more laid back. Like I want to match the energy of the student or the prospective student. And like, if they feel shy and timid, I don't want to like jump down their throat because that's overwhelming. This girl did not care. She was like, scan this QR code so we can send you more information. She like wouldn't let people walk away from the table if they didn't scan this QR code. She was making these high school students feeling guilty. Like she's like, show me your phone, show me you did it, show me you did it. I was like, this is so extra. I'm like, this is a lot. Like this is what I would expect from like a for-profit school who like gets counted on like numbers and stuff, which I don't know, maybe she gets counted like that too. But it was just like, I was just sitting at the table just like watching her go. Like there were a couple people that specifically had questions for nursing that I spoke to, but she was like just really aggressive. And I was like, you are like, I don't know that she realized how she was coming across, but I was like, you know, these high school students are gonna go home to like mom and dad, and they're gonna be like, how was the fair today, sweetie? And they're gonna be like, this crazy like lady from that school was like chasing me around to do this QR code, and she was scary. She like told me to get out my phone and show her my screen when I was finished. I was like, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. But that was on Tuesday. So that happened Tuesday. Thankfully, it was not a very long event. It was only like 3 hours or so. So, after that event ended, it ended at like 1 o'clock. And then one of my other best friends, her name is Samantha. She lives in Georgia. She had a baby last year, and her baby just turned 1 in August. And when her baby turned 1, she had a little birthday party. Unfortunately, I could not go for various reasons. But my best friend's grandma went, and her grandma lives in the area where the school was at that I was at on Tuesday. And when I had told my friend Sam that I was pregnant, she and I had FaceTimed each other, and she had shown me just like a bunch of cute stuff that like her daughter isn't using anymore. And like she put her kid in like a lot of gender neutral clothing, and she also had a lot of gender neutral like toys and like the baby Bjorn chair that you can sit in, like a bunch of like a baby bath, stuff like that, but like it doesn't matter. So she sent all of that back down to Florida with her grandma. And so since I was in the area, I stopped by her grandma's house to pick up huge batches of stuff. Like literally, like I got a baby bath, I got a little bouncer chair, some toys, a ton of clothes, some play mats. And I was like, this isn't bad to have, because like I obviously I'm going to need stuff at my house, but it's okay if I get a couple duplicates of things, because my mom is going to need to have like a pack and play and like stuff like at her house too. When I go back to work, she's going to watch the kids at my house, because I just feel more comfortable with that. But like there are going to be times, I was actually talking to Eric about this the other night, because we were talking about how like we're going to work out still once the baby gets here, like how he's going to, because he was like ready to like cancel his gym membership. He's like, I'm never going to leave the house. I'm like, that's not true. Like you still are going to need to find time to carve out me time for yourself. Like for me, diamond painting is my me time. And that is very easy to do with a baby in a bassinet or in a pack and play, hanging out, playing games or whatever. Like I can successfully have me time with the baby in the room. Like working out is Eric's me time, and I don't want him to lose that, because I feel like that could really affect his mental health. Like, and so I want him to be able to keep doing what he loves to do, because I'm getting to keep doing what I love to do. So it's like, don't cancel your gym membership. Like obviously in the very beginning, maybe you'll work out at home. We have like a couple pieces of equipment in our garage. Like we have a treadmill, he has some free weights, and he has some like resistance bands and stuff, and a bench. So it's like, you can do some stuff at home, but like eventually, like I'm sure you're going to want to go out and get like an hour and a half by yourself just to like decompress, work it out, like do whatever you do, muscle man, whatever. Like you do you. I'll be here with my audiobook and my baby. It's fine. And we were just going back and forth about that. And what was I lost the plot there. Hold on. What was I saying? I was talking about, wait, this drill is not coming off the putty. Please hold. Okay, there we go. We were talking about him, what? I literally, that train went off the rails just there in my mind. I was talking about work stuff. And I was saying how I need to have more stuff at mom's house because the baby will be there. Oh, wow. The leap I just leapt. So what I was saying was it's nice to have stuff at mom's house, even though she's going to be watching my baby here. Essentially, like, there could be nights where I want to go to the gym too with Eric. That's the full circle. Is Eric was talking about quitting the gym, and I was like, no, because eventually I'm going to want to go back too. And not all the time and not as often as you will, but I was like, no, keep the gym membership because, you know, there could be some nights where, like, we get home, we have dinner, we feed the baby, we get him all good, and then, like, we could drive to my mom's house, who lives right down the street, basically. Like, she lives like 20 minutes away, and she's in between us and the gym. We could drop him off for like 2 hours with like toys and a pack and play, and just be like, hey mom, like, we're gonna drop him off for just like 2 hours, we're gonna go work out, and then we're gonna come pick him up and take him home. Like, that's actually the perfect amount of time. Like, we feed him, he has his wake period with her for a couple hours, and then he's like falling asleep, whatever, we feed him, like, we take him home, he sleeps, we feed him again, put him back down. Like, when they're babies, it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle over and over again and whatever. So I was like, don't worry about it, dude. Like, you're going to have time to go. It might just be like an adjustment period. And he was like, okay, whatever. So, to my original point, it's good to have duplicates of things because even though my mom is going to be watching him the majority at our house, there are going to be times where we want to bring him over to her house just to watch for like an hour or two when we want to go do something together, get dinner, or go to the gym, or do something productive that we don't feel like dragging a baby with us to. So, yeah, that was, sorry, I lost the plot there, but I found it. And that's what's important, is I found it. Yeah, so that was Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I had yet another recruitment event, but this one was on campus. And this one was for our students. So it was like a career fair, but then I was also just tabling and talking about grad school and all this stuff. That was the best of the 3 events because it was our own babies, and they remember us because we helped them get into the first program that they're in. So they were like, hi, Miss Ashley, da da da. Like, they were asking all these questions, and they were so happy, and like, it was great. The Wednesday event was great. And then Thursday I had off because I had my whatchamacallit, my second, basically like anatomy scan 2.0. When I went to the first one and I showed you guys the pictures, the doctors were like, everything looks perfect, he looks perfectly healthy, but we want you to come back. And I was nervous. I was like, if everything's perfect, why do you want me to come back? They're like, we just want to see how he's grown. Well, believe it or not, he is 1 pound and 14 ounces. This baby is almost 2 pounds at 25 weeks. I am like, you little stinker, you are ahead of the game. But like, I asked them at the appointment, I was like, so does this mean that like my due date might change? And they were like, no, not at all. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, whatever you say. I thought it was going to make my due date change because he's actually measuring a week ahead of where I am. Like, he's measuring as if I'm 26 weeks, but I'm currently 25 weeks. I'll be 26 weeks well, when you see this, I will be 26 weeks and 1 day. But the day I'm filming this on Sunday, I am 25 weeks still. And I just went to this appointment on the 23rd. So, everything, we got a great report again. He looks amazing. He's 1 pound and 14 ounces. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so, I can't wait to show you this. I'm so excited. So, Eric and I, whenever we're driving to the doctor's office, we always like write down our questions, like as in our phones, we like write them down throughout the week leading up to the appointment, but we go over it together, like as we're going to the appointment, like, okay, don't forget, we're going to ask this, and we write it down. One of our main questions was going to be about 3D ultrasounds, because, you know, I've seen some parents get them, and I didn't know. I was like, is that something that you have to pay extra for? Do you have to go to like a boutique for that? Or is that something that your doctor does? Like when you're after a certain age point or whatever. I was like, I didn't know how it worked. So I was going to ask the maternal fetal medicine doctor, like, when is it possible to schedule a 3D ultrasound? Okay. So we get to the doctor. We end up getting there a little bit early because I had gotten my nails done this morning, which I already showed you. They're so cute. I had gotten my nails done Thursday morning because that was like the earliest or the latest I could get them done as close to the wedding as possible, because we're going to be traveling this upcoming week, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But I got my nails done and they took a long time, but we didn't have enough time to go home and then go to the doctor. We were like, let's just go grab lunch and then go straight to the doctor. So that's what we did. So we ended up getting to the doctor like 20 minutes earlier than we were supposed to. And normally they tell you to get there 15 minutes early. So we were really there like 30 to 40 minutes early. But I didn't really care. I was like, listen, we'll just sit in the lobby and have fun, or they'll take us back early. And so when they were taking my vitals and stuff, they were like, yeah, we're kind of right on schedule today. And I was like, that's okay. We're not upset. We know we came early. We just didn't have enough time to go home and then come here. It was just smarter to come right here. And they're like, okay, as long as you're not upset. I was like, man, do the moms wig out on these people when they're not early? I was like, whatever. Remember, I had that one doctor's appointment where I waited 2 hours for the doctor because they were on call at the hospital and they had to go over to the other hospital. So that was a fun experience. But anyway, so finally it's my appointment time. We go back. I get a different sonographer than I got the first time. This woman is a little bit older, but she's really, really sweet. And she lays me down on the table and she just starts putting the goo on me, and she's trying to find him, whatever she finds him. And I'm just like, oh, my little boy, whatever. And we're just talking about it. The sonographer's super nice. She's explaining what she's seeing. She's he's being annoying because he keeps putting his hand in front of his face. And then all of a sudden she does this, she's turning all her knobs and touching all the buttons on the sonographer machine. She's grabbing different nozzles and it's operating a spaceship. And all of a sudden it flips to a 3D image, and I'm like, oh, I was like, oh my God. I told her, I was literally going to ask you today. One of my questions to ask you was, when can we do a 3D ultrasound? Because I didn't know if you guys could do that. She's like, oh yeah, you can ask for it. As long as the baby's big enough to see details, we can do it every time you're here. And I'm like, I just stare at Eric and I'm like, that would have been nice to know last time we came, but whatever. But that was the anatomy scan. So they were looking for more specific things. This time it was just looking at growth and just getting cute pictures pretty much, which I was fine with. So we got a bunch of 3D photos. So I'm just going to put a couple of my favorites right here for you. As I continue to talk, I'll just cycle through a couple of my favorites. We got to see his little face. So this is my baby boy. He's 25. No, was he? Yeah, he was 25 weeks in these pictures. And he's just such a precious little baby angel. And oh my gosh, Eric and I were like, he looks just like you. And he looks just like Eric. And you guys know what Eric looks like, so you can be the judge of that. But it was just so good to see him. And he was it was funny. He had his arm up, he was sleeping basically. And he had flipped. He was head down when I did my anatomy scan. And that was at 21 weeks and I hadn't felt him move yet. I think the reason why I felt him move for the first time during week 24, was it? Or 23? I can't remember. It was 22, 23. No, it was 24. Week 24 was the first week I felt him move, that Thursday before the doctor's appointment on the Friday. I think what I felt was him flipping. I think that's what I felt, because it went from me not feeling anything at all to now I feel him all the time. And when I went to my first anatomy scan at 21 weeks, he was head down and his feet were pointing up, and my placenta is kind of at the top of my uterus. So it's kind of a little bit in the front, a little bit in the back, it's going like this at the top of my uterus. And so if he was kicking me up here, and I couldn't, the placenta was blocking me from feeling anything. Well, I think that Thursday before I went to the doctor on week 24, I think he rolled, and then now his feet are kicking down, and that's where I've been feeling all the movement is my lower belly. So I'm just ah! And I got to see him, and he was head up, and he was almost 2 pounds. He was 2 ounces shy of 2 pounds, and he's doing great. His heart is great. She let him take more pictures. At one point he had, because he was cozy, so he was resting on his arm like this, he was just resting. And then at one point she was trying to spank his butt to get him to move his arm, because she wanted to get a better picture of his face for me, because I was we need the money shot. So she was poking his butt, and at one point he flipped his legs up, so he looked he was this, it was his head and his legs were clasped. He looked like a clam, he was clamming. His butt was down and his legs were up by his head. I'm wow, you are a flexible little guy. And Eric's yeah, that's all you. He's I could never do that. So that was really funny. But he did let us get some cute pictures, as you've seen. And yeah, so that was great. That was so great. And again, it was really good. after a long week of being on the road and recruiting and just having a lot of emotional turmoil over all the stuff related to like the hospital and whatever, like just to be able to like feel him moving in me, and then also to see him like on the screen in 3D. I got to see his nose, his mouth, his eyes, his big fat cheeks. Oh my gosh, Eric and I both have like apple cheeks, so he's gonna come out with like these big fat cheeks that I'm literally gonna chew off of his face. I have cuteness aggression, I'm so sorry. But like, I'm just so excited. Like, he looks like a little person, and he's only gonna get bigger now that like again, I'm almost into my 3rd trimester, so he's gonna start gaining weight, and that's really good because obviously like more development, more time, he's gonna be like it's like in my mind every day, every week we're getting closer and closer to like him being even more viable. God forbid something happens. Like, that's just how my brain works. I don't view it as being morbid. I view it as like a positive thing. Like, yes, like we're one more week closer to like him being okay, you know? And I think part of that is because my best friend, the one that I was telling you guys about, Cynthia, her twins were born at 30 weeks. And so they're amazing now. They're running around. They're turning 7, which is insane. They call me TT and they call Eric Tio. And so we've been in their lives since the day they were brought into this world. 10 weeks early. So I've held them when they were a pound. And I know what it's like. I was supporting, obviously, my best friend through that whole experience. They were in the NICU for over a month. And she had to go and be with them. And her whole maternity leave was sitting at their bedside in a NICU. It was awful. It was awful. But obviously, like, now that they're big and strong and older, like, it's just like, what a blessing they are. But that is my frame of reference. Unfortunately, fortunately. So it's like every day that I get closer to like it being his actual time that he's supposed to be here, I'm just getting more and more comfortable and confident, and like, yes, like he's this month he grew hair, and this month he grew fingernails, and now he can see a little bit better, and he can hear a little bit better, and his heart's a little bit stronger. Like, I'm just very encouraged by hitting those milestones of like every week getting that update of like, he's an eggplant, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just is, it's really exciting for me because it's like every week he's getting more and more viable to be like outside of my body, which is the end goal. Not too soon, but it just is, it's good. It's good progress. So Thursday was a huge win. I got my nails done. I saw my baby. It was a great day. Thursday was an amazing day. Friday I worked from home and I just had a bunch of meetings all day, which was pretty chill. And then on Saturday, we had the twins' birthday, sort of. Like, their birthday is not until October 29th, but because, like I said before, I'm going to be out of town with Eric at his work conference, and we don't come home until the night of the 29th, and then on the 30th we fly out for the wedding in Colorado. So I was like, we want to celebrate with the kids early, so there was this like little citywide, like, it wasn't a trunk or treat, it was just like a little event. It was like a bunch of tables for a bunch of different local community vendors, and they all had candy at their table, and there were bounce houses and face painting and like good music, and they had some food trucks out there. It was just like a little event. It just cost us $2 to get in. It was like a public community event, and it was amazing. There were so many kids there, and all the kids were dressed up. It was only from like 6 to 8 p.m. so it was like really chill. So on Saturday, after like power slamming through filming a bunch of videos to get myself ahead, and editing and stuff, because that's pretty much all I did all morning, was like I just like edited and I filmed on Saturday, and then we got to my friend's house about 5 o'clock, cut a birthday cake for the twins, took them in their costumes. They were so cute. Ryan was Princess Peach and Aiden was Mario, and it was the cutest thing ever. So we took them to the Halloween event, and we got candy with them, and Ryan did all of the like bounce house stuff, and then we were getting ices, like they had like a Kona ice truck, which is just like ice with like the syrup on top, which is delicious. And we just had a really good time. And then we went back to their house afterwards. The kids went to bed, and then we just hung out for a little bit longer. And then here we are today, Sunday. It's Sunday. So, and today I filmed my month in review this morning because I'm going to be gone. The wedding is on a Sunday. So Sunday, the 2nd of November is the actual wedding day. So we don't fly home until the 3rd, which is the Monday, and we get home really late, and then I work on Tuesday. So there was no way that I was going to be able to film and edit my month in review video in the same day. So I just decided to film it a little bit early. But But yeah, so that all happened today. And then obviously I'm filming this right now on Sunday afternoon. Eric and I went and got some Burger 21 for lunch, which was delicious. We did that. And then we also dropped off my cats at my mom's house because obviously we're going out of town for Eric's work conference. Then we're going to the wedding. And then, because we don't have enough going on, I told you guys that we're getting new windows put on the house. We're getting hurricane impact windows put on the entire house. Like this window, all of the windows in the bedrooms, in the bathroom, like all of the windows are getting, and the slider downstairs. Every window is going to be hurricane impact. So we don't have to worry anymore about like boarding with wood or, like the shingle or what are they called? The shutters. That's what I'm trying to say. Like shingles. No, that's on the roof. The shutters. We don't need to do any of that anymore because these windows are graded for Cat 5 hurricane impact. So really excited to get those on the house before Eli gets here. And we just got a new roof put on. So we're just like really rocking the house improvement projects right now. But originally we were going to get the windows done on November 20th, which was like the week before, right? I'm looking at a calendar. Yeah, that's the week before Thanksgiving when everybody was showing up because my baby shower with my family is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we were literally going to get the new windows on the house like the week before, but the window people called us and they had said, listen, we need to either move up your project or we need to charge you the rest of the money right now. And we have the money, like we would have paid it like to keep our original date, but Eric was like, maybe we should move it up. And I was like, are you crazy? He's like, yeah, if we move it up, that gives us like more time like for to get the rooms ready like after the windows go in, because once the windows go in, then we have to like clean up and like get ready for Thanksgiving and stuff, and that just gives us more time between the windows and Thanksgiving to like prep the house. And I was like, well, if you have a day off that you can do it. And so he's like, I'll work from home on this day and whatever. And so obviously the cats can't be here because there's a window in almost every room in the house. We can't really lock them in anywhere. There's even a window in the closet. It's like we can't even lock them in the closet. So there's two bathrooms in our house. The guest bathroom and the downstairs bathroom don't have windows, but I'm not locking my two cats in a bathroom all day. Like I'm not going to do that. So we decided to drop them off at Grandma and Grandpa's house. So we did that this afternoon, and they'll have the cats from Sunday today, the 26th, all the way through November 6th, which is going to kill me because I love my cats and they're so a comfort for me. And the fact that like I'm going to come home Monday night and I still won't have my cats for another 4 days is going to make me very sad, but I will get through it. Eric wanted me to leave the cats even past November 6th because remember, we have another wedding 2 weeks later. So November 13th, we fly out again to North Carolina to my cousin's wedding in Raleigh. And he was like, we should just leave them there the whole time and then we'll just pick them up when we come back from Raleigh. I was like, over my dead body, okay? Over my dead body. I will pick them up after the windows are completely done and everything's like sealed and good and they say it's like safe to bring them back. And then I will have them until the 13th and we can drop them off the day before we fly out. He was like, you're crazy. I'm like, yes, I am. I am a cat mom. I don't care if I'm having a human baby. I'm still a cat mom and I want my babies. And he's like, okay, crazy. So he agreed to let me get my cats back between the windows and the second wedding because there's like a week between the two things. So I'll be doing that. But I'm very sad. My house feels so empty without my babies. I miss them so much. We dropped them off this afternoon. And I'm already like, who am I going to cuddle with tonight? And Eric's like, me. And I'm like, fine. Literally, I woke up this morning and I was like, I like to sleep on my side. Well, and I have to sleep on my side right now because of Eli. But I sleep like a baby like this on my side. I woke up. Kovu was in my arm. I was cuddling him like this in my sleep. He had crawled into my arm space and we were sleeping next. Oh, I love my babies so much. They are such lovers. But yeah, so I'm kind of sad. I won't have my cats for like 2 weeks, which is slightly depressing, but it's for their benefit because now they don't have to be afraid of like the construction and the windows and the loud noises and whatever. And Eli, Kovu already has like massive anxiety with like changes and stuff, but he loves grandma's house. So I'm like, great, you go to grandma's and don't have an anxiety attack and give yourself a UTI, and we're gonna be here dealing with all the craziness. But it is gonna be crazy because Eric did successfully rebook the windows to be now November 6th, which is a Thursday. So now We're getting back from the wedding on November 3rd at night. Tuesday, Wednesday, we work like normal. Thursday, the 6th, I have a recruitment event, so I will be out of the house. I will be gone. Eric will be home that day dealing with the people in the windows, but we will have just gotten back from that wedding, and he will then have to remove all of the fixtures that are on all of the windows. We can have no blinds, no curtains, nothing around the window so the workers can get to it. I'm gonna have to move all this stuff that's like by this window and shove it to that side of the room so that way the workers can be on the inside and the outside of the window, like installing it. Just like, why? We have so little time to get all these things done. But I know I'll be thankful for it in the end when it's over and I have these like beautiful big picture windows that I can like perfectly look out of during a Cat 5 hurricane. Although I never hope to be hit by a Cat 5 hurricane again in my life. It's happened before, but I don't want to experience it again. By the way, my heart goes out to anyone that has family in Jamaica or is personally connected to Jamaica or is physically in Jamaica right now. I am praying for you so hard. That hurricane looks terrifying, and I've lived through a few Cat 5s in my life, but this one just looks mean. It looks mean, and I'm scared for you guys, but I'm praying for you, and yeah, so I hope, let me know in the comments if you need extra love. I'm so sorry that that's happening to your loved ones or to yourself or your family. Hurricanes are no joke. But anywho, so we're going to have those windows put in November 6th. So that'll just be like another thing to add to the plate. And then again, we'll go to the second wedding on November 13th. No, 12th. Let me look at the calendar. The 12th. We fly out on the Wednesday, the 12th, which is the day after Veterans Day. So on Veterans Day, I have a doctor's appointment and then we fly out the next day for North Carolina. So November is crazy. November is absolutely crazy. I thought October was going to be crazy because of all this recruitment stuff I had to do at work. But like I counted the other day, I'm only going to be working like 11 days in the month of November between Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, the 2 weddings. Like November is going to be like a fake month, and then it's going to be December. And I will be 2 months away from giving birth. And that is crazy. And that is crazy and wild and crazy and wild and crazy. So yeah, let me look at my notes again. I think I covered everything that's going on, maybe. The other thing is that I was on the fence about what dress I was going to wear to my friend's wedding that I'm going to this week. I was thinking about ordering something different that just because I'm pregnant. The dress that I originally bought still fits me, but like the top area is a little funky, but I'm like, it's not like ugly. It's just that like it can't pull down as far anymore because of my belly. But I'm like, when we're all dancing and running around, no one's gonna notice that. Like, it's a black dress, so like you can't really see a lot of the detail that's in the top part in the dark. So I'm like, it's gonna be fine. Whenever I take a picture though, I'll just have to like pull the front down really quick and then like pose, and then it'll crinkle back up a little bit. But it's I was like, it will stress me out more trying to find a new dress that she likes this late than to just go with my original dress that she already is obsessed with and approved and just deal with it. So that's what we're doing. I have gold sandals, they're flats. I have a really pretty black dress that she loves that I picked out, and then my nails are black and gold. And I have a cute necklace. It's a 2-tier necklace. One of the tiers is my birthstone, aquamarine, and then the second tier is my astrology sign for Aries, because she's having like a very like witchy Halloween / celestial themed wedding. So like that's why she wants us in black. That's why she wants us to wear like our astronomy signs. It's like, it's very that. So it'll look cute, I hope. Eric's gonna wear all black. He's gonna have a black suit, head to toe, black shoes, black belt, black tie, black jacket, black pants, white shirt, or black shirt. No, I think he actually has a black shirt that I'm having him wear. I was like, where's your black shirt? He's like, I wore it to work. I'm like, why would you wear it to work if you know you're wearing it to a wedding in a week? He's like, I'll just wash it. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. So that's boys for you. But yeah, that truly is all of the life updates that I had for you this week. Diamond painting world, not much. Well, I mean, so my month in review will come out next week, and you will see that I got 2 finishes for the month of October. I finished Embrace of the Pumpkin by Kikawa from Unimade and Indigenous Collections Skydance Northern Light by Amy Keller Remp, and I'm so excited that I got those both done. That took my whips from 5 down to 3, this being one of the 3, and then also I have my National Parks Mini Dazzles, and then the Big Jada Gem Shop, which is a long-term inactive whip at the moment. So yeah, things are going great. I am going to be kitting up a new kit in like early November, and that's going to be like a winter / Christmassy themed kit. So if you are part of my membership, if you're a part of the VIP squad or Inner Circle membership specifically, go to my community tab on YouTube and vote for which kit you would like to see next. The 3 kits that were the top of the vote from the Inner Circle voting round is Cozy Christmas by Aria Illustration, Marie Christmas by Ivy Dolamore, and Christmas Drink by Mrs. Butter D. So those are the 3 top contenders. So my second and my like top tier and second top tier membership groups get to vote on those kits right now. So we'll find out which one of those is the winner. Hopefully when I get back from this wedding. My plan is to get it kitted up and kind of participate alongside Drills and Chills. Jingle Drills, hosted by Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights. She hosts that event, and I believe it starts November 15th, so I'll be able to kit it up in perfect time for that. I'll probably kit it up, if I can manage it, I'll kit it up right before I leave for the second wedding, and the second wedding is on November 15th, so I'll come home the next day, and then I can immediately start working on it. Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be my whip for November and December, so it's going to be a bigger project, which is fine by me. And then I have some other small projects that I plan to work on, like in between everything going on. But we'll just see. We'll see where the month takes us, because again, November is going to fly by. I did not purchase anything this past weekend, or well, this weekend for me, but for you guys this past weekend. I will say though, I have Morning Coffee by Sims Art and Ethereal Queen by Rosie Scribbles on my On the Fence wish list, and they are haunting me. They want me to buy them so badly, and I say, no, I will be patient. If a sale happens to go on at some point, I may buy them if they're in stock. If they aren't in stock, I will let it go. I need to save myself for Black Friday as best as I can. But those are the 2 recent releases that are currently haunting my dreams that I want to buy so desperately, but I'm trying to hold off unless there's a really good sale, or I don't even know. Really, the sale is the only thing that could probably crack me at this point. If they go out of stock, I'm fine with it. I'll live. If they restock, that's cool. If they don't, that's fine. I'm letting it go. But I am thinking about them in the back of my mind all the time. And then, yeah, Tea Party. I'm hoping to get this whip finished by the end of November. This is going to be like my main project in November, alongside kitting up the new project and starting to like work on that one a little bit in between this one. But really my goal is to get this one done, and then in December I'll kick it up into high gear with the other one that gets selected for my winter Christmas kit. And my National Parks Mini Dazzles, I'm fairly certain that between the 2 weddings that I have to travel to, I will get the rest of those finished. I have 8 left to finish for that set to be done. It was a set of 12. So I think that I can manage finishing 12 of those little minis between the 2 weddings that I have to go to, because I can work on them in the plane, but I can also work on them when I'm not on the plane. Like, there's going to be a lot of downtime at my dad's house when I go for my cousin's wedding, and there's going to be a lot of downtime in the cabin where we're staying for the Colorado wedding. So I think they're going to easily get done between those 2 trips. I don't think I'm going to have to work on them at my house at all. I think I can just do them as my travel whips. But I'll keep you posted on how that goes. And then also, my D-stash is going really well. I have pretty much wrapped up the D-stash part where I kind of let my members go first. So all of my channel members, all 3 tiers of my channel members, got to have first dibs on my D-stash list. And so when I get back from the weddings, my plan is to then go post whatever's left in like the DAC fans D-stash Facebook page or other. I'm a member of a couple of those Facebook groups that are on like for D-stashing on Facebook. So I'll probably, when I come back and I have time to actually like interact with people who respond to my post and like get them quotes for shipping and all that. Like, I don't want to be like gone and then be like, I haven't heard back from you. Like, I want to be home and at my computer ready to answer questions that need to be answered. But I'm going to try to finish the rest of my D-stash on a public Facebook page, one of those groups. There's a bunch that I'm a part of, kind of like end of November, beginning of December. I'm just trying to get them gone because they definitely need to be out of here before Eli shows up, because they're in his room right now. And so after my baby shower, all of our family is coming back to the house to help us build furniture and stuff. And so none of that can be in there during the baby shower time. It will all come back in here, whatever's left. And it might just have to live in here until I can get rid of it on a D-stash or whatever that looks like. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. I think that's it though. Yeah, my diamond painting update's very small. Very big in like substance, but very small in talking, because I did get 2 kits done in October, which was amazing. But if you want to check out my finishes and what they look like, go ahead and head over to my Instagram. It's linked in my description box below, and you can see pictures of my 2 finishes, but I will definitely be covering them in further detail in my month in review. During my last Whip and Chat, I asked you guys if you thought I should do a dedicated post review, and I didn't see any really strong opinions either way. So I think what I decided to do is whenever I have like a small shop finish, I'm just going to do a kind of full post review in my month in review, because we're already talking about finishes and whips anyway. So that's a great place for me to kind of go in depth about what I loved about the canvas, what I didn't love, my logbook, the stats of the canvas. Like, I can do all of that there. And then I can continue to reserve my post review kit downs for my Diamond Art Club finishes, because I save all of my spare drills from my Diamond Art Club projects, but I don't save them, except the special drills. I don't save other companies' spare drills, just because the Diamond Art Club ones are my favorite and they're the majority of my stash anyway. So that's kind of how I'm planning to go about it moving forward, is if I finish a small shop canvas, I will do a full review in that month in review. And then my Diamond Art Club finishes, I'll do kit down videos where we also kind of whip and chat style after I give the review of the canvas. I just feel like people know the quality of a Diamond Art Club canvas. They don't really want to hear you talk about it at length, because it's like, okay, we want to see it finished, but we don't need to hear about the drill quality is so great and the canvas is so sticky and it's so beautiful. Like, we know Diamond Art Club is like amazing. Like, we know that. Show us the goods, and then kit it down and talk to us about your life. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But anyways, those are my major updates in life and in diamond painting. And we are getting towards the end of this video. So I am going to give us the question of the day. Let me just finish this little section right here. Final thoughts on this pen. 10 out of 10. It's super comfortable. I've had no issues with it. It fits my 8-placer perfectly. I haven't had any fussing with this 8-placer in this pen. And it's hard resin. It's very tough. It's not gonna just like crack on me easily. And then the putty, super impressed. I didn't even take off the excess putty. Normally I'll trim down the top of the putty to make it like flush with the multi-placer. This time I just kind of went for it because I wanted to see if it was like stringy or if it got on my canvas a lot, and it didn't do any of that. So I'm very impressed with the putty. So definitely check out my description box below if you want the links to Crafts with Crashley, which is where the pen came from, or Thes Studios, which is an Etsy shop, which is where the putty came from. So check out that in my description box below. Let's do question of the day. What DMC is this? This was number 43, which was 3328. So we can't do that, but we can do number 43. We can do 43, hopefully. Last time we accidentally picked a number we already picked. Oh no, we didn't do this one. Okay. Number 43. What nervous habits do you have? Ooh, that's a good question. What nervous habits do you have? Let me know in the comments. Only if you feel comfortable answering the question. You don't have to, but if you feel comfortable answering the question, let me know. What nervous habits do you have? For me, oh gosh. I don't know. I'm not avoiding the answer. I will try to find a good answer to this question because I kind of avoided the answer of last week's question. What nervous habits do I have? I don't get, see, this is my thing. And again, I'm really not trying to short the question. I don't get nervous a whole lot. Like I mean, even the job that I have, I'm a recruiter. I talk to strangers all the time. I give presentations in front of really big groups, in front of really small groups. I'm very people-y in that way. And so I don't really get nervous from like social interactions. Like I feel like I can navigate my way through a social interaction, even if it is awkward. Like even if someone else is being awkward, I can usually like make that person feel more comfortable, or like just like gracefully walk away without it being weird. Like I can navigate situations like that pretty well. I'm trying to think of a time in my life where I was like super nervous. I guess it depends on what's triggering my nerves. Like so like that's so, he just kicked me. When I wasn't feeling Eli move at the beginning, like, so I started to hear a lot of stuff. Again, going to the internet is like the worst thing you can do when you're pregnant, because everybody has like different stories, and you just start like comparing to yourself, and you're like, I'm not experiencing that, so is it me? Am I the problem? So everybody that I was seeing online was saying like, oh, you can feel your son move as early as 16 weeks because boys are so active and blah, 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 blah. And like you should really feel them moving after 22 weeks. And if you don't feel them moving after 22 weeks, you should go see your doctor because you want to make sure there's nothing wrong. And I didn't feel him move until 24 weeks. And so between week 16 and week 22, I was just incredibly nervous. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing something wrong? Why can't I feel him? Is he not moving? Is he like choking on something in there? Is he not have enough room? Like, again, spinning, crazy. What nervous habits do I have? Okay, so in this particular scenario that I'm sharing with you, I guess my nervous habit would be to just like talk it to death. Mostly with Eric, so he probably loves this nervous tick about me, but like I like to discuss things in every angle possible, like every aspect, every iota, like well, what about this situation, or what if it was like this, or what about if in this scenario? And Eric is so not that guy. He's like, Ash, we're fine. Whatever happens. Like, we can't control everything. But I'm like, but what about if it's this, and this, and then we do this, and then this happens, and then like I like am a very futuristic thinker and a very strategic thinker. So in my mind, like if I can get ahead of something, like I'm winning, and I can beat the problem if I can just get ahead of it and outthink the problem, which is like very unrealistic. So like I guess my nervous habit is like overthinking something to the point of like, but not just overthinking it in my own head. Like I have to have like a whole debate and conversation about it with him. And like most of the time I'm not even asking him to like rebuttal me. I'm just like wanting a human being to stand there and like take in everything that I'm saying, which is also why I'm so thankful I have you guys on this channel, because honestly I feel like I use you a lot for that as my sounding board. But you guys actually talk back to me in a constructive way. Eric just like pats me on the head. He's like, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, but what if it's not? He's like, it's gonna be fine. So, and then it always is fine. And then I'm always like, sorry. And he's like, I love you. So yeah, I think if you were to ask what my nervous habit was, it's like, I have to talk through everything that I'm nervous. Like if I'm nervous about something, which is pretty rare, I'm usually not a nervous person, again, when it comes to like social scenarios. But if there is something that I'm nervous about, I have to just like talk about it. Because sometimes I feel like if I keep talking about it, I will come to the solution. I will speak it into existence, which I'm sure is very frustrating for those around me that I do that with. But honestly, that list is very small because it's funny. I'm like sharing all my personal stuff with like the whole internet, but I just feel like this is honestly more of an intimate space than some of the people I talk to in my real life. Like the majority of the people in my real life, even family members of mine, I would never share these things with. But like, you guys just get me in a different way. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, for those that like know me, I have to like talk things to death and overthink them to the point of like working out every scenario in my head of how this thing could go down. So that way I feel very prepared about no matter what happens, I have thought through the problem and I would have a possible solution, plan A through Z, and I'm good. So let me know, what nervous habits do you have? Do you bite your fingernails? Do you pick at yourself? Do you twiddle your fingers? Do you rock back and forth, or is it something you do mentally? Is it like tapping on your something 3 times? Like, you know, what do you do? Do you have a nervous tick? Are you also someone who's not nervous in social situations but only just make things up in your head like I do? Or are you nervous in social situations and you have certain tics that you have, like when you're about to give like a big presentation or go into like a party or a social scenario where you're like, I'm nervous and so I'm just gonna laugh a lot. You know, it could be anything. But that was our question of the day. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this Sunday evening. Well, for you guys, it's Wednesday afternoon, but thank you so much for hanging out with me and chatting and catching up about life and diamond painting stuff. I will do a little pan over of this section that I just finished so you can see how she's looking. This fairy's looking very pink, very pink right now. But anyways, I hope you had a good time with me. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. Go into the description box to click all of those fabulous links I dropped in there for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!